snuck up on me there. It's a cute little guy just hanging out up in the tree. See you later. Today marks day 360 something that I've owned these shoes, the Merrill Chameleon 7s. So we're back at Thumb Butte to do another review. I'll show you what these shoes are good for and what they're not good for, and hopefully you'll be able to make an educated buying choice by the end of it. Let's get started. Not gonna lie, my foot got wet during that trail walk. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that. That was just kind of what they look like while you're walking with them. This is my left shoe, the one that I put into the water. This is the right shoe, the dry one. And once again, this is the Merrill Chameleon 7 shoe. In the description it says that they are named after the animal that they are as tough as, or something like that. There's some pretty cool features on this shoe. Let's take a closer look. Honestly, looking at it, it's just such a pretty shoe. It just looks so nice. And it has this kind of suede finish. This actually is suede on the outside, and then there's rubber. It does have the Vibram grip soles, so these are meant for walking on ice. I got these when we were still going to school in Vermont, and they have held up quite well since then. They do not come with these easy laces. I installed these myself. They come with regular standard shoe laces, something important to note. And you see how it says Merrill Select Dry. They're dry for the first year, about. They're still pretty dry. They hold up excellently well in rain. However, my foot just got wet when I submerged it in that water. And another thing to note is that these are not boots. They're trail runners or trail walkers, and they only go up to the ankle. So if you're planning on going on any creek walks or anything, this is not the shoe for you to stay dry. If you're going in water deeper than your ankle, you're going to need something different if you want to stay dry. Though I do personally recommend sandals for that, because what better way to handle water than to let it in and then deal with it? So we also have, along with the rubber sole, you can see that it's kind of getting worn down up the front here. I've had these about a year. And toward the back, where my toes don't scrape quite as much, you can see this is pretty much what it looked like initially when I first got them. And up front here, you can see how worn down the rubber sole is, and near the back, less so worn down. I do use these when I ride my bike, so that's probably why it's this severe. On the front here, we do have a rubber toe cap, though it does peel off. You see how the edge is kind of coming out from right there, and there's some kind of stain on here. I don't know quite what this is, but it's been there for a few days. There's also these vents on the side meant to ventilate your feet, but let me tell you, these are some of the least ventilating shoes that I've had. When I'm overheating, I have to stop and think and ask myself why I'm overheating, and then I take off my shoes and my temperature drops about 10 degrees. It's crazy, and that just goes along with most waterproof shoes. While they are meant to keep water out, they also keep water in. And sweat is water, so don't go running in these. That's just my personal recommendation, because they will fill with sweat, they will fill with whatever you splash in, and then it's going to take a long, long time for these to dry. They're also pretty heavy. They weigh about 3 pounds, these particularly, my shoes individually. And on the back here, we do have this protective ridge, which I guess is nice for something. I don't know. What I use it for is I wrap my pants around that. When I have clasping pant legs, I wrap them around there and around here, and then it's awesome to use in the rain because the rain doesn't go into the top of your shoe. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's for. I've never owned a pair of shoes with this before, but I think it looks cool anyway. It also is pretty thick, this back part individually. If I put it in my hand right in the middle, you'll see the back is much heavier than the front. And once again, you can see the Vibram soles right there. The back is pretty much untouched up here because this part of your foot doesn't really touch much. On the inside, you can see there's some of it peeling off, even with these elastic shoelaces on there. It does get peeled off quite easily, and it is rather uncomfortable. So I'm shooting for a shoe review video, and I just happened to choose this specific area, and I found this on the ground. It's like a battery maybe, but it's full of sand. Interesting. I mean, it's already wet, so. I'm going to just leave this at the trailhead in case whoever left it wants to come back and get it. You know, I think my favorite thing about these shoes is just how nice they look. I love this color, and there's so many other beautiful color combinations. This one's orange and this kind of army olive green here. This olive green is what I like to buy my clothing color as, but there's gray and teal and orange and blue, and they just come in so many colors, and they all are so pretty. Anyway, back to the review. They also have this hanging loop on the back, which is very nice. However, you see that it's kind of small, so if you were to try and hang this on a wall or something, you would need to hang it with the soles outward, which is just something that I personally don't like to do, but different strokes for different folks, right? Along with these vent shafts here, this was one of my biggest concerns when I initially got these, because I thought water would go through them, because it just looks like some sort of netting. The water actually doesn't go through them somehow. It's some sort of technology. The inside of this is wet now. It's quite wet. My toes and socks got a little bit wet earlier when we did that trail walk, but time has done its due, and now it's a little bit wet in here. But do keep in mind that these are about a year old now, and you see this kind of opening here. This one is more severe on this shoe rather than this shoe, but this does start to peel back. The glue on here isn't very strong, and I'm pretty sure that's where the water got into the shoe itself. Initially, when I got these, the suede was coated with some sort of waterproofing, and water just beat it up and bounced off. Now you can see when they get wet, they do get soaked. And this is part of having any sort of waterproof gear. It's not just an end-all solution. This jacket is also waterproof. Do you want to see it? You want to see it, don't you? Hold on. Wow. Amazing. Now, this jacket is Cool brand. It came waterproof. I have not reconditioned it. It's been about 4 years now, maybe 5 years. And you can see the water where it stays, it kind of absorbs into the jacket. But initially, if the water has enough speed, it'll just kind of bounce off. So if that's any kind of indication of how strongly the waterproof bond is adhered onto these shoes, the coating here versus on my jacket, this is 1 year versus 5 years, and I would say the Cool brand waterproofing works much better. But even if it is raining, the reality is that shoes are going to hit much more water than jackets, because you don't walk through puddles scraping your jacket on the ground. At least I hope you don't. These shoes are great. They're super comfortable, and I was so surprised out of the box. It felt like they had inserts in them, and they're still so comfortable. The actual arch inside has not worn down at all. And if you haven't worn these for a while, putting them back on actually feels really good. It feels like something's hugging your foot very closely. That's the best way I can describe it. But they're super comfortable. I just enjoy wearing them so much. And on winter days, I know I mentioned earlier that they make you overheat quite a lot in summer heat. Just don't wear waterproof winter shoes in the summer. These are by all means winter shoes. I don't wear these during the summer, and I don't think you should either. And the insulation, although they do make you hot, that can be a good thing in the winter. However, it's not a good thing really if you're out backpacking or camping, because they make your feet sweat a lot. So when you do go to take these off, you're just going to have another problem. And along with that, I would not recommend these for hiking, camping, backpacking, or anything more than a day hike really, because they're so heavy. Like I said, these are about 3 pounds. I measured them the other day. Out of the box, it's different. We all know that 1 pound on your feet equals about 20 pounds on your back, and this is some heavy load that you do not want to be carrying when you're out. I do see some storm clouds coming in, so we'll wrap this up in just a moment. I don't have too much else to say, but the wind's gonna pick up. You're not gonna be able to hear me, and I also have a long ride back. Out of 5, I would probably give these shoes 2.5 stars. The things I would change is I would make the waterproofing a bit stronger, and I would make these vent shafts a bit better. These are about $120 on the market right now, so it is quite an investment for a pair of shoes, but you are paying for winter waterproof shoes. So think of them like boots, except they have the disadvantage of having the ankle contour, so you get a little bit less footwear for about the same price as good boots, good winter waterproof boots. And I would also make them come with this kind of lace. It's much better. Of course you can do this yourself. I would recommend doing it if you do get these shoes. It makes them a little bit more comfortable and easier to handle. Wow, the temperature just dropped again. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more shoe content, more gear reviews, if you want to see the arsenal that I take out with me camping, hiking, and backpacking, leave a comment down below. Ask me for it. Let me know what else you want to see. Or you can click subscribe and you'll get to see it when it comes out. If you want to be notified when it comes out, click the little dinner bell next to the subscribe button, and the wizards of the internet will tell you when it comes out. How exciting is that? So once again, probably 2.5, 3 stars for these shoes. I like them a lot. I still wear them every day, but they do have some serious drawbacks, especially if you want to wear them for more than one day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video or in the comments down below. Leave a like if you want to see more.